All right, in today's video, I'm going to break down for you a few different popular neighborhoods in Wheaton to show you just how different these neighborhoods perform and how the makeup of these neighborhoods are so different. Obviously, there's several markets within a market, and every neighborhood, even within a given town, and even a smaller town like Wheaton, vastly varies. So I'll break that down for you. Just as a reminder, I'm Mike Thornton. I'm a realtor here based out of Wheaton. We have one of the top performing teams here, top 1%. And so if you're looking to make a move to Wheaton or the surrounding suburbs, please reach out to us. We have a link in our description to set up a 15-minute discovery call. Or if you just want to chat, real estate market, we can do that as well. But let's jump into this. So I pulled up Arrowhead, which is kind of South Wheaton, technically unincorporated, just north of Butterfield, west of Naperville Road, a very popular area where you get a little bit larger lots, you get a little bit lower tax bill, and you get a little bit larger home in general as compared to some of the other areas in Wheaton. And then you have Donata North, where the homes are even maybe even a little bit more expensive, as we'll see here, than Arrowhead. Also, a lot of homes that were developed in the 80s and the 90s, a little bit larger in size as well. Then you have Lowell Elementary School. That's now in North Wheaton, being defined as north of Roosevelt Road. And that is kind of the southeast corridor of Wheaton, a really nice area, up and coming, close to the College Ave train station, close to downtown Wheaton, and just a really nice spot. And then we have Wheaton Crossing, which is northwest Wheaton, about as far northwest as you can get. And that was a neighborhood that was actually developed in the 80s and 90s by a couple local builders. Homes there are, again, a little bit larger, ranged from 2,000 to 4,000 square feet. And that neighborhood behaves a little bit like South Wheaton in a way where you get a much larger home, but you're further away from downtown. So if we look at the average trading price, obviously all these homes, all these neighborhoods have done well over the last 3 years. You can kind of see, it's hard to tell with the scale here, but you're talking basically a move up over the last 3 years of, almost at 20%. Now this here is actually looking at the last 12 months. So Arrowhead's up 1%. The North is making a huge jump at 31%. Lowell 16, Wheaton Crossing 13. Keep in mind, some of this could be mixed as well. So this isn't a perfect science, but the mix could be off a little bit. But generally speaking, you can kind of see that Donata North is in Arrowhead are the two, actually, I should say Wheaton Crossing, actually. And then you have Donata North, followed by Arrowhead as far as most expensive. And it's not to say one's that much more desirable than the other. It's just probably to do with the makeup of the homes. I think that's what it really speaks to. You get larger homes in general in those neighborhoods versus what you get in Lowell, where you have a lot more Cape Cod, bungalow, old 1900s homes. But again, the neighborhood's doing very, very well. It's just a little bit different makeup. If you look at the housing supply in these areas, this is usually inverse to how the home prices are going up. So as you have supply low, you have home prices moving up, because this is a market like everything else. So as there's no supply, you have home prices going up. So as you can see here, basically you have no supply across the board. I mean, this is crazy. You're at under 1 month of supply. So supply continues to grind lower and lower and lower. Demand is not the problem. It is definitely supply in these markets. And Wheaton's behaving like pretty much every other place. You have no supply right now in Donata North, which is pretty wild. Let's look at percentage of original list price closed. So this is a metric basically showing what percentage are sellers getting compared to their original list price. I know this is taking a second to load here, but you can kind of see a couple of the numbers off to the right, which is wild. You have, on average, homes in Arrowhead and Donata North getting north of what they're asking. So the average is that they're getting more than what they're asking, which obviously suggests that they have multiple offers on these homes. Price per square foot, that should move in line with home sales, as this thing's having trouble loading. But basically the story here is, depending on what neighborhood you're in, generally speaking, in South Wheaton, you can get a little bit more house for the same price because you're a little bit further from downtown. So that's the trade-off. Whereas in Lowell Elementary School District or Hawthorne, Washington, Longfellow, those are a little bit higher price per square foot. And that's mainly because you're closer to downtown. So that's definitely a trade-off. Then you have a few North Wheaton outlier communities like Wheaton Crossing that are much more like South Wheaton homes developed later on in the 80s and 90s, where the homes are, again, closer to 3,000 square feet on average, which is a bit different than downtown Wheaton. So hopefully that gives you a general sense of some differences in the neighborhoods. If you have specific questions about these communities, don't hesitate. Reach out to us, comment, send us a message. We'd be happy to help you out there. And again, like, subscribe if you're interested in more of this content. We'll be covering areas like Wheaton, Glen Ellyn, Naperville, the western suburbs in general, breaking down those communities, but then also providing some general insights on the markets as well. Have a good day.